Tim Burton, Charles Darwin, Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, Bill Gates. Some of the most successful and smartest people in the world's history have had the developmental disorder known as autism and Down syndrome. Just because these brilliant people were born unlike most, that didn't stop them from striving and achieving everything they wanted. But after saying that, I believe that there are rare cases of overcoming the shorthand people are dealt in life. Seeing that out of the 6,000 Down syndrome children that are born a year, I can guarantee you didn't know that. There's a small handful of them that know how to maintain it. I'm sure that getting to where they were didn't come easy to them, and I'm sure they had plenty of help along the way. It probably was a lot more difficult than any of us without Down syndrome could imagine. Now, at Brighton High, they have this amazing special ed program at their school where other students and faculty help out and walk around with the special ed students, making sure they are okay and not in any harm. It's great to think that things like that exist out in the world. Instead of the children having to be homeschooled or taught online, this way they get the real high school experience, academic-wise and socially too. Now, let's get some people who have witnessed this program firsthand to speak on the subject. Thank you, Bryce John, for speaking with us today. Now, when was the first time you noticed the special care Brighton gives to the students?
If I'm being completely honest, I never really realized we had a special ed program until my junior year. Haha, which is pretty embarrassing to say. I just figured that the students roamed around like every other high school student, which in a way they do. I've seen them walk around and go to class by themselves, but it's great and wholesome how much the environment cares about them.
That's awesome to hear. And now it's time for a second guest. It's great to have you on the show, Walter Hammond. Do you like that your school has this type of program for special needs students to enjoy?
Yes, I absolutely love having special ed program at our school. I think it is so cool that Brighton cares so much about a topic such as this. I've never really had encounter with special need people before coming to Brighton. So it's not only an experience for them, but for all the other students as well. The only bad thing I would really have to say about it is that if you're in a classroom next to theirs, it can get pretty loud and distracting with all the screaming and whatnot.
Now that's totally tubular, bro. And finally, our third and final guest, Renee Trepp. After hearing all the great things about this topic, do you think there's anything the faculty, students, or district can do to improve what is already working so well?
I can agree with all the previous statements from a first person point of view. I am one of those lucky students who signed up to help take care of the special ed students, even though the program is great. One thing I could recommend is having a complete part of the new school where the students can have more classrooms to themselves. Like they said earlier, things can be pretty loud and obnoxious.
And now it's time for a quick ad. Thank you for listening to McFashion Entertainment. And now it's time for a quick ad, brought to you by our sponsors and friends, Heart Studios. Be sure to go online and enter in our raffle to earn. So glad that Renee decided that is how she thinks the school can better improve the program. It's almost as if I planned this interview myself. That is the exact topic I'm going to be speaking on as well. While observing the program at Brighton, I began to think that the system is already in a pretty good place. But everything can always be improved and or modified. I was thinking of maybe having more special ed rooms in the new school. Or maybe they could even have their own section of one of the new buildings all to themselves. It wouldn't be excluding the students, no. They would still have plenty of contact with everyone else. It would just act as a place where the teachers can have all the utilities they would need. Or maybe hire more teachers that specialize in dealing with mentally challenged students. Like I said before, this program is already great.